Hello, Capricorn. Here is your reading for the month of April. These are general. Take what works and what doesn't work just doesn't work. But let's see what the cards have to say for you. First up, you have the Ace of Wands. Then you have the Five of Swords. Then you have the Knight of Swords. In your reverse challenging position for the month, you have the Ace of Cups reversed. And you have what is recommended for you is the Ten of Swords. So the Ace of Wands to me indicates that kind of going into the month of April, you're inspired. Something kind of strikes your fancy. You're interested in something. There's something you want to really take action on, or you're kind of excited about. You feel a little bit passionate. This could be like a new career opportunity or just anything that gets you kind of like excited to try. So there's something that you might want to do, or there's something new going on in your life. And by the middle of the month with the Five of Swords here, it's interesting because this is indicating that there might have been some type of so the Five of Swords, it's a card about almost like winning at all costs. Now, this could be you trying to win with whatever this situation is. I always feel two different ways about this card. Sometimes I feel that winning at all costs is not always the best thing, obviously. It could just be that you are working so hard towards something that you're now doing underhanded practices or shady shenanigans to somebody else because you want to win, and now you're losing kind of credibility in a sense, or you're taking certain shortcuts that are not that great, or there's something where there's disharmony with the other people around you because you're trying to achieve something, but it's now causing disharmony with those around you. But in saying that, if it comes to certain situations, like let's say if you're an athlete or there's a job interview and you really want this job is going to change your life, and it's really something that is big, then you might have to try to win at all costs, because only one person's going to get that job. And if you got to come correct, and you got to just really come at it hard and just really, really do all your research on the company and just spend extra time focusing on the interview, where now you might be neglecting, I don't want to say your responsibilities or some of your family responsibilities or whatever. You might be a little bit more focused on nailing this job interview. Then that card, that if you get the job and if it's going to change your life, then that was a good thing. But in the process, there might be some tension, there might be some problems with other people, or there might be some kind of this little bit conflict in a sense. You're going to know what it represents for you. It could just be that there was some shady, underhanded stuff going on around you, that somebody's trying to win as well. And now they are not really considering the other people's feelings in the situation, and it's actually kind of screwing up the work dynamic or whatever this represents. Or it could be something that you need to come really hard at it, and you need to get it done. You're going to know what it is for you. But with this card, there's always that warning of making sure that you are not sacrificing yourself, that you're not making sacrifices that are not going to be beneficial to you in the long run. Make sure that you're not getting carried away, that now there's going to be repercussions. So that's what I want to say here. But by the end of the month, you're going to have the Knight of Swords, which is almost like you rushing into a new direction. So I wonder if some of you, whatever this represents, whatever new situation is taking place or you're engaging in, I wonder if either you're going to kind of see it a little bit more clearly, because I feel like with the Five of Swords, it's like now you're kind of seeing things, maybe things are not very fair. It could be you not playing fair, or somebody else is not playing fair with you. But I think with the Five of Swords, it's oftentimes everybody knows it. People think sometimes that they're going to be sneaky and they're shady, and they don't think other people are going to realize it. They know it. Sometimes this happens, and I'm always aware of when it's happening. So, but this situation, however it transpires or translate to you, by the end of the month, I think you might be deciding you're either moving in a new direction or you're moving in the same direction, but you're moving, I don't want to say with haste, but you're really dedicated to it. So for some of you, you might have got screwed by somebody else who might have been doing some underhanded tactics, but then you decide that, you know what, the hell with it. I'm still going, but I'm going to come stronger. So you're going to know what it represents for you. I hope this is making sense, but this is what I'm getting. But by the end of the month, you're really going to be full steam ahead with something. Because the swords represents your thoughts. So in your mind, you're like really committing to something. And yes, this is what you want to do. And this is the way you want to go. And that's that. And sometimes with the Five of Swords, if there is a situation that in a sense, like you kind of lost, sometimes these people with the Five of Swords, it's almost like they're the ones walking away, but they're the ones that really won the day. Like this guy felt like he won the day, but in the end, these guys over here learned some valuable lessons. So I always think that these guys walking away, they lost that battle, but they're going to come back next time and maybe win the war. So they're going to re-strategize, re-figure out if it's even worth fighting for, because sometimes you realize something is not even worth it. But sometimes you realize if you lose something or something didn't go quite your way, what you need to do differently, and if it's something that you really, really want. So in a sense, I think by the end of the month, you're making that decision and you're moving forward towards either a new way or the way that you wanted to go originally, that maybe there was a little bit of a blockage or there was a situation that you had to kind of resolve. But your challenge for the month with the Ace of Cups in reverse, this is all about like repressing your intuition and not really listening to your heart. So I think this is a reminder that because you had the Five of Swords here, I wonder for some of you, if there was a situation or something that going on and it made you feel a certain kind of way, and it's like almost like you are suppressing how you really feel about it. Like it might have been negative, or you might have had to be a little negative. You might have had to be a little bit more cutthroat, but maybe that's not really truly who you are on the inside. And I think this is saying that you need to not forget your, I don't want to say morality, but what you value. Like you have to let your heart and your emotions and your intuition, I don't want to say guide you in a sense, but just tap into that, because you have you have action here and then you have thoughts over here. So, and then this is the emotion card, and the emotions and your inner self is reverse right now. So you need to make sure that whatever you're doing, it's going to be something that you are going to agree with or be proud of in the long run. So I hope that's making sense. But what's recommended for you is the Ten of Swords. And this is saying the worst has already happened. So this is a reminder to let you know that whatever this Five of Swords may represent for you, maybe you got screwed or you screwed somebody over, and maybe you kind of realize, however, that maybe it wasn't the right decision, or you realize what they did to you and you might be fearing they're going to do it again, or that situation's going to happen again. The Ten of Swords is saying like the worst has already happened. So now with you moving by the end of the month kind of in a better direction, more of a fresh direction, and you're more committed, I think this is saying you're going to hit up against less obstacles moving forward, because you already went through the trenches with it. You already kind of got screwed, or you already dealt with like the mess a little bit. So by the end of the month, I think you're going to be moving past it and you're going to be kind of like making a little bit more progress. So let's see what else we get for you guys. Okay, first up you have Dog Spirit. Be loyal to what you love. And I really think that this is going with this Five of Swords right here. I think that there might have been some little bit underhanded tactics potentially, but I think this is saying, especially because you have the Cups, Ace of Cups here reverse, this is reminding you that if you have to be a little bit more, I don't want to say cunning, but a little bit more forceful in certain aspects, just don't throw people under the bus that are actually your friends. So remember what you're loyal to. But sometimes your loyalty is going to actually have to cause you to be a little bit more, kind of forceful. For instance, like the job opportunity, or if you're a student and you're trying to get a scholarship to a college that you can't afford, you're trying to get, certain things, you have to come at it really strong. You have to be ready. You have to come at it better than the rest so you get that scholarship. So with the Five of Swords, it's always dependent on the situation, and you're going to know what this represents for your specific situation. But be loyal to what you love. So during this month, don't forget about your intuition. Don't forget about what your heart really wants. And you need to just remember the things or why you're doing certain things and make sure it's aligning with your purpose and what you really want in the long run. Because sometimes with the Five of Swords, I feel like you almost could get carried away with the energy. So it's an energy of, I always say it's like you're kind of in the moment and you're kind of riled up and heated up. So you might do things that you normally wouldn't do, but you're doing it because in that moment you want to win. And it could just be maybe your ego's getting involved, or maybe it's a situation that you really need to win at. So you're going to know for yourself that if it's just your ego, or if it's something that you really, really need and you need to get done because it's going to really benefit you in the long run. So this is always a card that it really is the way, depending on your situation, you're going to know for yourself. But Black Tourmaline, protect your energy. And I think this could be also, because with the Five of Swords here, I feel like you could get a lot of pushback from other people as well. So I think that you need to just protect your energy, depending on if somebody screwed you over or if you screwed somebody over, or if you're just having to work really, really hard. I shouldn't even say screwed people over, but if it's something that you need to kind of work really hard at or come really strong with, you need to protect your energy from other people, that they're not like trying to bring you back or drag you down a little bit. So, but if somebody kind of screws you a little bit, you need to make sure that you're still protecting yourself and you're not letting it totally disrupt you, because I do think whatever's going on with you, by the end of the month, you're moving in a new direction and you're going to be moving quickly in a new direction. And I think whatever is going on, you've already experienced the worst of it, and you're going to almost be able to release certain things and move forward. A new door kind of, in a sense, is opening to you. And then love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. And I definitely think that, because the Ace of Wands is passionate, so I think this is saying that you need to remind yourself or move towards your passion, in a sense, and you need to love yourself. Regardless of what's going on, you need to love yourself, because with this energy, either I don't want to say if it's causing you to do things that are not always quite what you normally would do. Sometimes you need to love yourself through that as well. And if you feel somebody kind of was negative towards you, you need to still love yourself. Don't let some situation devalue your worth. Whatever this represents for you, don't let it devalue you. You always need to love yourself and know that you come first, and you just need to have the passion to also continue forward. Because honestly, sometimes when we take these Five of Swords moments, and if we are on the losing end of it, it can kind of feel like we're being depleted a little bit. Our passion is lost. Maybe there was a job opportunity that you didn't get, somebody else got. Maybe they lied on their resume and you found out, or there was some promotion that your coworker took your credit for. Maybe you did a project or something and somebody said they did it. I know people like that. I know people do that kind of stuff. So, and it might make you feel a certain type of way because maybe you're not like that. Maybe you don't throw other people under the bus or take credit where it's not actually your credit, So you still need to love yourself through that. If you are dealt a little bit of a tricky time, we all go through these things, but definitely the worst is over. And I think by the end of the month, I think you're going to be headed in a new direction, and you're going to know what this represents for you. Anyway, playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And I think this is saying, even if you go through a little bit of a heavy moment, have fun. Have fun, do something fun. You have to keep your heart open. Don't let it close off, because some of you might be dealt a little bit of a blow, a little bit of unfairness in a sense, and this could make you feel closed off, but don't allow it to close off. Still have that open heart, that willing to try, willing to give something a chance, and just allow yourself that. Now, you can't run from the shadow, but you can invite it to dance. Now, I think this is saying that whatever this Five of Swords represents for you, it may have not been your finest moment, or maybe it's not the finest moment that you've given to somebody else, however it is. Sometimes these things happen, but in a sense, we have to like acknowledge situations. We have to acknowledge our feelings in the situations and our actions. And we can't change the past. We can only be like, okay, well, maybe we screwed this up, or maybe we did this or whatever. And we're like, okay, well, we're going to try better next time. We're not going to do it next time. You just have to invite certain situations. And if, let's say if you're on the losing end of whatever this represents, that doesn't mean you're not going to be good at what you're trying to do. So don't stop. You just need to maybe reconfigure certain things, figure out, well, what can you do better next time? So this is an opportunity, even if you were on the losing end, to figure out how to come back better next time. So that's you inviting this shadow, you acknowledging that maybe you were not the best candidate or not as prepared for something, or you didn't do as well. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to be good at it and it's not meant for you. It just means that you got to come back a little smarter next time. You got to figure out what went wrong and refigure certain aspects out. So today I will persevere. Today nothing will worry me. All my problems will pass in time. And I really like this. And I really feel like this is so fitting, because I know I keep talking about this Five of Swords energy, but for me, this is always such like heavy energy. And it's always like, I see there's just two sides to this Five of Swords, But I think regardless, this is going to be really, really positive to tell yourself, even if it's every day, or just remind yourself, regardless of what's going on, that you're going to be okay. You're going to get through it. And especially because the worst is over with. And whatever this is for you, it's going to pass. And by the end of the month, I think you're going to be full steam ahead, something different or something new, or even in that direction, but in a different way. So I think it's extremely positive. Everybody has these kind of moments every now and then. It's all, how it is. Now let's see what Bob Ross has to say for you. However you think it should be, that's exactly how it should be. So this is saying that regardless of how the situation was, you are in control of your thoughts. So whatever you're thinking is the way it's going to be. So if let's say I'm going to take the job interview thing for, again, let's say you went on the job interview and you didn't really do your best. Well, what did you do that was good? And what can you do next time? And sometimes you just have to do something multiple times to really master it. So don't get down on yourself. Like if you lost the battle in something didn't go quite your way. This could even be that you helped somebody out, but they were just taking all your help, taking all your resources, being very selfish towards you. And you kind of got screwed a little bit, but now you learn what to maybe watch out for next time, or you learned about this person and maybe it kind of is red flags, but you could always say to yourself, well, at least I tried helping somebody. They turned out to be a real trash bag or whatever, but at least, I had the open heart enough to try to help somebody. I did some good karmic deeds somewhere, somehow, but this person is, it's time to move on and move forward into a new thing. So, okay. And let's see what spirit of the dish we get for you. You have the spirit of the sweet holy one, which is the spirit of the donut. Okay, so for your dinner and a movie, you have horror movies and barbecue food. And for the energy that you either need to be aware of or tap into, you have Aries. And this is all about energy, initiative, and temper. And it's about that passion. It's about that kind of trying things and playing around with things. And then you also have Virgo here, which is which represents communication and thought processes, but they're also very organized. They're a very organized sign. So there might be some way you need to organize something a little bit better, or organize your thoughts, or pay attention more to what you're actually thinking or the way you're thinking. And you also have the sun here, which is about ego, individuality, and confidence. And I feel like the sun shines on everything. So whatever this Five of Swords is, it's going to be very clear to you. Whatever this represents for you, it's going to be very, very clear to everybody involved. So I think with that, you just need to pay attention to whatever the situation is, whatever, and just move from there. But just know that these things are never hidden. This card to me is never hidden. Like if somebody's trying to do some shady business, it's always very clear. Like that's one thing with that card. It's like every time I get it, like I know somebody's trying to screw me, because I'm not the type of person to try to like go out and like, I don't know. I'm more low key. I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like I'm more of a fairer type of individual. I'm not looking to screw somebody else over. I feel like we're all here. We all trying to, make our way or whatever. So I'm not that type of person. I don't have that type of personality. But other people do have that type of personality. And sometimes I like know somebody's messing with me, and I know that. And it's very clear, even though they think that I don't know. But I don't say anything because I'm not looking to get even into it with anybody. I'm like, whatever. Like, I know you're trying to be shady over here. You think I don't know, but I know. Trust me on this. But that's the way it is. That's the kind of energy it is. So... And you also have Neptune, which is about vision, creativity, and illusions. So I think this is saying, I really believe that in this, you're going to know whatever situation is, you're going to be blatantly aware of it, but don't have illusions that you're not capable of doing it. I think sometimes that's certain bad situations could happen or things could happen, and we get in our heads with stuff. So make sure you're watching your thoughts and not kind of putting yourself in a box thinking that it's not good for you, or next time the same situation is going to happen the way it went down. And you also have the 8th house, which is about change, transformation, debts, and secrets. And then you have the 11th house, which represents originality, humanitarianism, connections, and creative ideas. And you have the number 6 here, which is an even number. And this means the special guest that will be answering your question today, Capricorn, will be Mr. Predicto. Think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. You have T, P, F, and it's Jesse. He's sleeping. He's making funny noises. C, B, O, P, and you have 3590. And you have inspire. And I think this is saying that you need to stay inspired, especially because I think the Ace of Wands is very inspirational, exciting energy. But the Ace of Cups is something when it's reversed, it's kind of like you're closing yourself off. So still stay inspired, still kind of be in that energy of like being inspired. Because I really feel any bad stuff that's kind of gone on is you really went through the worst of it. So now you can really go through the rest of it maybe without like so many problems, And let's see what little charmy we get for you. Wait, somebody jumped out. Yeah, okay. So you have the bow tie. Now this is the bow tie with a little diamond in it. This to me says fake it till you make it, in a sense. Like sometimes you have to just kind of dress up a little bit. Even if you're feeling down, just dress up, get a little fancy, put a little bling on, get a little like your interpretation of bling blingy, whatever that might be for you, and just make yourself feel good and just present yourself in the energy that you're trying to attract. So don't let yourself be down. Like if you want to stay in bed and sleep one day, fine, but just make sure the rest of the month that you're putting on a good show, you're putting on a brave face, and just sometimes you just have to kind of pretend, even if you're feeling a certain kind of way, you just have to pretend, and it'll help you shift out of that energy. So I think that's really, really great. So put something sparkly on, put something that makes you feel a little sparkly and feel a little extra. So I think that's definitely positive for this month. Okay, now here he is. Think of those questions, Capricorns, and we shall ask. Oh, Mr. Predicto, the most accurate prediction device that's ever run off of batteries. What is the answer to Capricorn's question?
Everything points to no.
Okay, so he said everything points to no. Mr. Predicto is a man of many words, and those were the words he chose to speak here today. I hope you all have a wonderful month, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.